Hello, welcome to Spotlight, a weekly talk show that highlights the voices shaping our futures. I'm your host, Arianna Spruille. From the South Side to the West Side, the city of Chicago is known for its vibrant art communities. Blending 100 neighborhoods together, Chicago's very own is taking power into their own hands through poetry, photography, dance, and music. Today's episode will highlight Chicago-born artist, Chicago poet laureate Mayda Valle, and photographer Kenn Cook Jr., who have both used their art to influence changes within their communities. But first, Spotlight correspondent Gianna Perez had the chance to meet with local student artist Rebecca Berrocal, whose work showcases her Panamanian culture.
My name is Rebecca Berrocal, and I'm from Panama. I'm a junior here in Louisville.
And what's your major?
I'm a double major in advertising, PR, and studio art painting. I've always had an interest for art because my mother back home, I'm from Panama. So my mother back home has a couple of art galleries there. So all my life I've grew up like with this just desire to work in the industry. We have a great relationship. When freshmen see my art, I want them to feel inspired to like be that change and like make their art for a purpose and not just for like decoration. There's a lot of art here, but I think here there's a big community on art, are really influential of its history and its past, that it's really easy for them to even inspire me and how I paint and see my own work. I want to say like anyone who wants to be an artist, I think you can definitely do it.
Thanks, Gianna. And welcome to our guests, Chicago poets Mayda Valle and Shivani Gupta. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Born and raised on the south side of Chicago, much of your work acknowledges how your Puerto Rican heritage has shaped your experiences. How does this influence your advocacy work?
I tend to write a lot about my identity and how it's shaped my upbringing. And I also have more recently been writing a lot about Puerto Rico's political status. So a lot of the displacement, economic issues that have been happening on the island, political issues that have been happening on the island. So, I mean, it's where I'm from. It's where my parents had to leave in order to come here and, find something better for themselves. And so I always tend to look back a lot, and I just look at a lot where I came from to get inspiration for my work.
Oh, well, Shivani, your experience is a bit different as a Chicago poet. How have you used your art as a tool for change in your communities, and what changes do you hope to make?
Big one. Casual questions for a Tuesday. I think for me, I'm not from Chicago. I moved here in 2021, and it's been really interesting to see what the city already has going for it, and it's been very welcoming. Chicago was the only city in all of the U.S. that I was willing to live in because of that and because of what you said. And so now I try to work with organizations like the Chicago Poetry Center. I also run virtual spaces that are all donation-based for high accessibility so that anyone at any stage in any language has the ability to engage with poetry.
And you have a poem prepared for today.
I do.
And we're excited to hear that. Can we begin with your poem?
Yes, absolutely. So this is a poem called Papers, Please, and it featured in the Epiphany magazine recently. Papers, Please. I have grown out of the sock drawer, a vagrant, unfit hold structure that still somehow keeps you warm, keeps you taut. I stretch my skin a wrapper, a wobbler in my breath. I crave a shriek this voice is unafraid to pitch. At work, I ask if I can, if I may, if I could just, wouldn't we all be better if you saw this from our perspective? Maybe I need to take a step back, process this a different size. My brother says, at least not you so legal. You belong here. You will have to say it, not too loud. Carry ID everywhere, to a concert, to the grocery store, understandably to the airport, ununderstandably to a poetry show. You never know. Who is asking? Who is asking? I want you to remind you to stay angry just in case. But not too angry. Just enough that your shrinking looks like confidence to anyone who stops you. You understand, right? Because they will. They will mow you down. chiseled lawn, perfect six-pack body, and still a beer pack to take home to the boys. I guess only some people can have it all, and still. I grow a hold shriek. I grow a hold rapper. A wobbler shrieks at work. So legal, you belong here, not everywhere. Understand. Who is asking? I want to remind you, your shrinking looks right. Perfect body, and still home to only some. Rap a wobbler shriek, so you belong everywhere. Remind your shrinking.
Thank you so much. That was amazing. Mayda, what did you think?
I love it. I'm also like looking over your shoulder, so I'm noticing that there's an erasure poem in there too. So what did you use? Did you erase your own poem?
Yes.
Okay.
So this is a style of poem called the Burning Haibun, or Haibun, depending on where you're from. And it essentially is a prose poem, so you write a big chunk of prose up top, and then you self-erase.
I just started writing those recently.
Yay! Oh my God, of course you did.
Yeah.
And then you kind of self-erase your own poem in the second verse, so it becomes like a blackout poem, and then the third verse is essentially a haiku from the leftover words. And so I think what I was aiming to do with this was also navigate some of my feelings around entitlement and privilege and fear and anxiety all rolled up in one belonging container.
Beautiful.
That was beautiful. And then up next, we have Mayda.
I will share a piece. This is called We Came. We came on the promise de que allá era mejor que aquí. We came on the SS Borinquen and the Leopoldina. We came on lawn chairs bolted to the floor of cargo planes. We came on Pan American and Eastern Airlines, on flights filled to the brim with cigarette smoke, crying babies, and dreams of returning. We came. We came to New Orleans forced onto trains destined to a place called California, where some escaped and stayed, and some boarded steamships bound to a different island called Hawaii, where we became Borinquis. We came with maletas full of viandas and citizenship with limitations in hand, con los chavitos que nos dio papi and draft cards in hand. We came to Humble Park, to Indiana and the south side of Chicago. We came to El Barrio, Williamsburg, and Sunset Park, to Lorain, Ohio, and Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. We came hungry, speaking bad Spanish, y el inglés hasta más chavao. We came Puerto Ricans who became spics and learned quickly we were not really American and never would be. We came and left behind abuelas whose hands we'd never touch again. We came and left children, wives, and husbands. We came and traded palmares for tenement buildings. We came and left the sun that burned crimson as the bloom of a flor de maga. And we came to be blinded by snowstorms and flashing police lights. We came for school. We came for work. We came to escape hunger and sometimes stayed hungry. We came to leave the nothing we thought we had and learned how much less there could be. Some came thinking we were nothing and learned we are an ocean of everything. We came, we left, we stayed, some returned, some died, some lived and are still living, and we are leaving, still arriving, still returning and leaving behind the proof that we've always been and will be.
Thank you so much.
Welcome. Thank you.
I think that was an amazing performance. Shivani, what did you think of this?
That was stunning.
Thank you.
To hear it live also, I've of course read a lot of your poetry, but I think there's something about your voice that is declarative when it claims that space and it recognizes where you're from and what you've always been, and it allows others to stand in that light as well. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We'll be right back.
Every day begins with a choice. Either rush through or take a moment. That first sip, it's more than coffee. It's a reset, a connection, a smile, or even a good luck on your exam from your favorite barista. Every cup we craft is made with care, because how you start your day matters. So savor that moment. Every great day begins with your first sip. Metropolis Coffee Company, obsessively crafted for you.
Welcome back to Spotlight, a weekly talk show that highlights the voices shaping our future. Joining us today is photographer Kenn Cook Jr. Thank you so much for being here. Born and raised on the west side of Chicago, your photography highlights the strength and beauty of the Black experience. Why is this important?
I recently became the artist in residency at Legler Regional Library, and I just started to go through some of their archives and just realizing how much Black Chicago, West Side particularly, is missing from the canon of photography, but also the canon of archives. And I just think that West Side culture is so beautiful, and there's so many amazing people there and stories that need to be told. And I'm from there, and so I just thought, hey, who best to tell the story of the people of the West Side than someone who's actually from the West Side? And so it really sparked that desire to tell authentic stories. And then also I think about mainstream media and how West Siders are depicted. And usually when you hear stories about West Side Chicago, there's negative, there's violence, but it's just not the whole story. And so I think that's really what kind of started my desire to tell those stories through photography.
Thank you so much. And your work is inspired by the lives of those in that community. How is your photography being used as a tool to facilitate change?
Yeah, I mean, I've had so many amazing opportunities as a photographer. I've been doing photography for about 4 years now, so still very early on in my career. And I think some of the opportunities that I've been able to have has really inspired the people living right next to me. You know, recently, I got to document the funeral of Reverend Jesse Jackson for NPR, and I was able to cover some of the things that were happening with the migrant crisis here in Chicago when ICE raids were happening. And just people in my community being able to see my work in New York Times or in NPR. I mean, that really it sparked so much inspiration for them. They were inspired. And I think that motivates my community to say, hey, if this guy can do it, I can do it too. So that's that aspect to it. But then also I think about the importance of just documenting people, giving people that sense of place.
So you said you had the opportunity to film the funeral of the late Reverend Jesse Jackson. Can you tell me more about that experience?
I learned so much just about his legacy. And I think that was one of the biggest things for me, being able to document history was so important for me personally, but also just being able to learn about all the vast and beautiful things that he's done over time and people he's fought for and made change. And it was very inspiring. I think I was thinking about how it connected some of the work that I do on the West Side with just documenting culture and making sure that culture is kept and preserved, because I went constantly in the city. I mean, y'all also in the city, but in the world, we're in this cycle of flipping things over. News is fast paced. We're always moving on to the next thing. And I just think sometimes it's just so important just to be still and rest and really celebrate the culture and preserve what we have or what we've been through.
Thank you so much. Thank you. That was amazing. Thank you. We'll be right back after this break.
Close to public transit? Spacious rooms. Plush queen-sized beds. Full range appliances. Loyola Flats, home away from home.
Welcome to the Bookseller, where there are books ready to greet you, people thrilled to treat you, tables waiting to seat you, support there to ease you, and worlds excited to meet you. Can't wait to see you at the Bookseller.
Our next guest, Patrick Jakite, is a DePaul University student and rapper. Last year, he performed at Fest, DePaul's annual music festival. Today, he will be performing his single, Sandman.
I'm a Sandman, baby. Hey, I'm your Sandman, baby. Ride around, drive Mercedes. Ride around, see, yeah. I'm a Sandman, baby. Hey, I'm a Sandman, baby. I wish you called me back. You know you wanted to. They leave my life a wreck. Leave me in solitude. You know I got your back. You know I'm solid, boo. Replace front to back. You know that's all I do. What a time of reason I don't want to. I know it's thoughts in your dreams, I'm in your front too. Cause I'm a Sandman, babe. Hey, I'm a Sandman, babe. Come and talk to me, talk to me. Waste of time. Trying to show that I like you, trying to make you mine. Back and forth with these cycles, I ain't trying to be in your bike. We spoke on road, we fight. I peep you low, you slime. I need to know your size. Sign on the dotted line. I hope that you won't leave. Hope that I'm on your mind. I need your blood and ink. Hope you read every line. Your dream about you and I. You know you wanted to. Lately my life a wreck. Leave me in solitude. You know I got your back. You know I'm solid, boo. Replace front to back. You know that's all I do. What a time of breathing, I don't want to. I know you thought seeing dreams, I'm in your front too. Cause I'm a Sandman, babe. Hey, I'm a Sandman, babe. I wish you called me back. You know you wanted to. Lately my life a wreck. Leave me in solitude. You know I got your back. You know I'm solid, boo. Replace front to back. You know that's all I do. What a time of breathing, I don't want to. I know you thought seeing dreams, I'm in front too. Cause I'm a Sandman, babe. Hey, I'm a Sandman, babe. Hey.
Thank you so much for our guests for being here. For Spotlight, I'm your host, Arianna Spruille.